A 7 Action News investigation raising questions about protocol at a local police department already under scrutiny.
4 officers respond to the scene, but it appears none of them capture a drunk driving arrest on camera.
The suspect is highly connected to city leadership, and the cops knew that. Here's 7 investigator Jonathan Carlson.
April 6th, Dearborn police respond to an ugly scene.
Out of nowhere, somebody just hit the car.
The driver of this Ford Fusion heading eastbound on Michigan Avenue when police say he struck a Mercedes traveling in the far left lane. The Fusion loses control, loses a front wheel when hitting the curb, but continues to drive on 3 wheels across a bank's front lawn, striking another car and driver.
Some guy flew up on the grass and smashed right into our car.
That was part of the call that came into 911 from one of the frantic women hit by what officers would soon call a drunk driver. An ambulance and more units show up as the driver of the Fusion remains in his car. Officers say the driver appeared intoxicated, his eyes bloodshot. He admitted drinking.
Did you have anything to drink? I did.
But he can't even tell officers where he was coming from. And according to the report, when he exits the car, he can't stand. He's moved inside a waiting ambulance where officers say he fails a field sobriety test and refuses to submit to further tests and a blood draw without a court order. So he's placed under arrest for operating while intoxicated. He's read his rights and he's taken away to the hospital complaining of a leg injury. But before all of this takes place, officers learned a bombshell. After initial contact with the suspect, they somehow quickly learn who he is.
That's the mayor's son? That's the mayor's son.
Your dad's the mayor, huh?
He's Devon O'Reilly, the 30-year-old son of Dearborn Mayor John O'Reilly, and a high-level manager with the Detroit Regional Chamber. Dashcam audio and officer-recorded communications repeatedly cut off each time officers broached the subject of his relationship to the mayor. We don't hear many of O'Reilly's responses to the officers' questions, nor does he ever appear on dashcam video, being removed from his vehicle and performing and failing those initial sobriety tests. Multiple units, all equipped with video and audio recording devices, responded to this scene, but none of them trained their cameras on the drunk driving suspect. The 7 investigators, through the Freedom of Information Act, requested all audio and video recordings from the Dearborn Police Department. We received hours of material. But one thing appears to be missing, and it's crucial. Audio or video of the corporal who removed O'Reilly from his car, witnessed his unbalance, and conducted those tests. Audio only picks up when O'Reilly is being read his rights and is taken away behind the closed doors of this ambulance.
It's very odd. It's not totally uncommon.
Defense attorney Patrick Barone has been specializing in these types of cases for 25 years. We had him review the provided audio and video.
The fact that none of it was captured on videotape certainly causes one to have some suspicion that there's some sort of special treatment here or some reason why the police didn't want this to be on videotape. They certainly had the ability to do that. They should have changed the position of one of those vehicles to capture everything on videotape so that we could actually see it, or at least hear it.
Once at the hospital, where those judge-ordered blood tests were taken, O'Reilly was issued a ticket, his driver's license confiscated, and he was released into the care of the hospital. No lockup and no embarrassing booking photo.
That's very, very unusual.
He says a booking photo provides further photographic evidence of that night. Furthermore,
by them not taking him back to the station and housing him, meaning putting him in a jail cell until the next morning, they put the public in danger.
O'Reilly aside, this case raises larger questions about police protocol when it comes to recording sensitive incidents. Currently in the state of Michigan, there's no mandatory requirement that arrests be videotaped. It's also at the officer's discretion to turn on and off their on-person recording devices. Each department has different procedures.
When we're talking about what they should do versus what they're required to do, those are 2 different things.
Some are lobbying the legislature to change that.
And those laws are good to protect both the public as well as to protect the accused.
It's often customary for field sobriety tests to be performed in front of a cruiser's camera to help the officer establish probable cause and back up the written report. A lack of video evidence, such as in this case, could work to the offender's advantage. In the O'Reilly case, the fact that nearly half a dozen officers on scene were somehow unable to provide a complete picture of such a high-profile arrest, in which officers surely knew would lead to intense scrutiny, leaves the Dearborn Police Department wide open to not only questions of protocol, but accusations of fairness and accuracy in all their arrests and the interactions with the public. Devon O'Reilly's blood tests show he was nearly 3 times the legal limit and considered super drunk in Michigan. We visited his home shortly after the incident. He was not there for comment. We reached out to his father, the mayor. He refused comment, as did the police chief. I'm Jonathan Carlson, 7 Action News.
All right, Jonathan, thank you so much. Okay.